Good afternoon, softball fans, and welcome back to John Miller Field. We're at the Circle Top Bar and Grill just outside Denmark, Wisconsin. It's the ISC World Tournament. Circle Top Dukes, the host team, are out on the field. They're taking on the Bear Creek Express. This is a battle of the 4 and 5 ranked teams in the ISC ranking. You get a look at some of the concessions here at Circle Top. There is the patio just overlooking the first base side dugout. They are looking over the Bear Creek Express. Joe Todd, there's a look inside the broadcast trailer. And Joe, we've got a real good one here as we get down into the sharper end of the tournament with the higher ranked teams finally getting on the same field at the same time.
This should be a really good game. Looking for that pitching matchup between Sean Cleary and Devin McCullough. Two good hitting teams. Top of both lineups are excellent.
And there is the Bear Creek lineup, the Bear Creek lineup. We'll show you that one first. Jordan Pomeroy will lead things off. He'll be followed by Brandon Horn, then Tyler Pauli in the 3 spot. Quentin Bruce bats 4. Colin Walsh 5. Catcher Ryan Boland in the 6 spot. It'll be Kyle Ezekiel batting 7. Jason Hill, designated player today, hits 8th. And David Galino, the shortstop, in the 9 spot. Defensively, for the Circle Top Dukes, left to right across the outfield, Justin Laskowski, Tyler Johnson, and Manuel Godoy. And then on the infield, one change, Aleo Munoz in for Tyrone Bartarillo, Dante Modicatir, Matt Haro, and Blair Ezekiel over at first base. Joe talked about it, Devin McCullough on the board, pitching to the one-man wrecking machine, Luiger Pinto. We'll talk about what a tournament he's having as we just underway. First pitch in from Devin McCullough for a strike. Jordan Pomeroy, Joe, featured in the viral clip of the year for fastball. Back at the Canada East qualifier, making a catch. That one's up the middle over the head of Dante Modicatea, and it gets through the center fielder, Tyler Johnson. Pomeroy can fly. He's around third. They're going to give him the stop sign, and he is around third. Exciting things happening here as this one goes up the middle, and Johnson just gets caught in between. And you see Pomeroy fly all the way around to third base. So we're going to talk about that highlight, but we'll come back to that one. That is a human highlight right there.
Well, great play to hold up the Jordan Pomeroy at third base with Brandon Horn, Tyler Pauli, and Quentin Bruce following in behind.
Yeah, no need to try to press right away, and this hits Brandon Horn up and in. And that stung. You could just tell from his reaction that that was not what he was hoping to see. Devin McCullough, if you recall the other day, this one up off the elbow, he hit a guy in the visor, Joe, if you remember back on Saturday in their first game.
Yes, real lucky time for that batter because it could have been a real serious injury.
Yeah, a bit scary for sure. So runners on the corners, Tyler Pauli at the dish. And this one is upstairs. Pauli had a home run in Bear Creek's game on Sunday, as they had the leadoff game on Sunday after the Hall of Fame ceremony.
Also paired that up with a triple.
Throw down, and it gets away from Blair Ezekiel. Pomeroy scores, and Brandon Horn up to second base. That just went right through the glove of Blair Ezekiel. So not the start that the Circle Top Dukes were looking for. It's the first run they've allowed in the tournament, Joe. They had a pair of shutouts to open things. They've mostly had it their way.
Now they have to shut the door here now.
Yeah, a little bit of adversity, and McCullough, already the body language says he's struggling to find the strike zone. Second game of the day for both teams. Circle Top 7-0 winners over Waterdown Hammer. And Bear Creek similar 7-0 win over the Bar Buzz. Paulai can't catch up to that rise ball from Devin McCullough. One of the harder throwers here in the tournament, Joe, and the rise ball, his bread and butter, and of course he's got that world-class changeup to go with it.
Good movement on that pitch there. You watch it leave his hand.
Called strike 3, the outside corner. Paulai turns and walks away. That's a good recovery from Devin McCullough to get the strikeout.
Key strikeout there.
Quentin Bruce to the plate. Sky's the limit for this young man right now. He'd had a season for the ages last year and barely a dip this year, Joe. He's been pretty red hot so far this week.
In his first game against Lacey A's, he was 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Now there's a runner sitting at second base. He loves those runners in second base.
That one misses downstairs. Pinto holds it for the umpire to get a good look at it. I've yet to see an umpire change his mind after a catcher framed a pitch.
Yeah. They're trying to win the next one, I believe.
I think you're right. This one skips off the knee of Pinto, and up to third goes Brandon Horn. He's showing Coach Jeff Paulai where that one got him, right on the forearm. 3-0 to Quentin Bruce. Joe, you let him loose or taking here just because Devin McCullough hasn't shown a lot of control?
No, I don't give him a green light here.
No. Taken all the way for a strike.
Devin McCullough has to be really careful here now. Cannot get the ball above the waist. Get the ball above the waist, he's going to fly it out. Got a potential for a sacrifice fly. Bring that other run in from third base. You want them to hit the ball. If he's going to hit the ball, you want to hit it in the infield.
Well, down and away, but ball 4 as that wasn't close. Bruce aboard with a walk. That'll bring up the 5-batter, Colin Walsh. And Joe, you and I were talking with Hall of Fame coach Terry Bader and Todd Adenoway prior to the game, and we were trading a little bit of speculation, and we thought the first inning was going to be key for both of these pitchers. If they could get out of the first inning, they might be okay, but so far it's been a struggle for Devin McCullough, and we know for Sean Cleary that the first inning can be a struggle for him too.
Exactly. He's got work cut out for him right here in this situation. Runners on first and third.
It's a called strike. Walsh swings and misses, but it's in and out of the glove of Pinto. And as crisp as he was earlier this afternoon with Jorge Segura, he and Devin McCullough struggling right now.
Just have to focus and a little bit more concentration.
Walsh swings and misses at the rise ball for strike 3. That'll bring up Ryan Boland, the catcher.
Catcher number 51, Ryan Boland.
And, you know, he spent a fair bit of time behind the dish with Devin McCullough. That replay just showed the elevation that McCullough gets on the rise ball.
Yes.
in for a strike on the outside corner and maybe settling down a little bit. Brandon Horn, the runner at third. Quentin Bruce out at second. Jordan Pomeroy, a single and reached third on a two-base error. And he's already in for the game's first run.
It's a nice drop ball there by McCullough. If he can get out of this with just the one run, they're very fortunate.
And this one is right up the elevator shaft, calling for it as Munoz in foul territory, and indeed, they do give out of it, giving up only the one run. They should consider themselves fortunate. Bear Creek Express strand the two, but they'll take a 1-0 lead in the home half of the first. Circle Top Dukes coming to the plate. 20 pitches in the first inning.
This business was opened in 1965 by my father, Ned Matiosi. Could have walked in here 25, 30 years ago and seen just about the same thing. The process of making this suit takes about 6 weeks. It goes through about 12 or 13 hands as it's moved along the line. It's an old-time place. Making stuff from scratch here in the city at a reasonable cost. It's a very personal type of business.
Back at John Miller Field, right beside the world-famous Circle Tap Bar and Grill, the host team, the home team, Circle Tap Dukes, coming to the plate. Matt Palazzo will lead things off for the Dukes in their batting order. He'll be followed by Luigi Pinto. Manuel Godoy bats third. Blair Ezekiel hits in the cleanup spot for the Dukes. Justin Laskowski hits 5. Aleo Munoz slots into the 6th spot. Tyler Johnson drops down 1, will bat 7. Matt Harrow in the 8th spot, and 9 is Dante Maracatier. And then defensively for the Bear Creek Express, left to right across the outfield, Quentin Bruce, Jordan Pomeroy, and Colin Walsh. Around the horn on the infield, Brandon Horn, David Galino, Tyler Paulai, Kyle Ezekiel. Sean Cleary, the ace, is on the board for the Express, pitching to his longtime partner in crime, Ryan Boland. Jason Hill, the designated player for the Express today. Joe, it was gracious of you to allow Matt Palazzo to step in for a couple of innings in the previous game and give the audience the opportunity to chat with Matt as we talked about his time with the Gremlins, his approach at the plate, Team USA, a number of things. He talked about how tough it is facing Sean Cleary. Has got all the pitches, has got good speed, but changes speeds. And he was expecting a great battle today.
Well, that's what you're looking for, though, a great matchup, competition-wise, too.
Well, Matt Palazzo does exactly what he did in the previous game. Goes after an early pitch and hammers it a ground ball through the right side and is aboard with a single.
Matt was 2 for 3 in this afternoon's game against the Waterdown Hammer and scored twice.
So these two teams faced each other in the ASA tournament or the USA National Tournament last weekend. Circle tap on the short end of that one. They saw each other, I believe, in Tavistock, too. Now, you were in Tavistock. Do you
Yes.
remember any details on that one?
Can't. No, sorry.
All right. Well, we'll work on your memory. Your
Okay.
memory, you're like an elephant for everything else.
Yeah. It'll come back to me. Give me a test.
I'm sure it will. We'll give you a couple of minutes. I put you on the spot there. My apologies.
Now, Luigi Pinto, he's been a machine here.
3 home runs, 10 RBIs in the first 2 games. Not the tournament, 2 games. A couple other guys with 3 home runs in the tournament already, too, Joe Todd. Jerome Remeke and Ty Sebastian with the Toronto Batmen.
Pinto looks so relaxed at the plate. He doesn't look nervous at all and so relaxed. I really think that's part of the success he's having.
Downstairs from Cleary on the move is Palazzo, as that just skipped away momentarily from Ryan Boland. And that's a veteran move, Joe. I mean, that ball couldn't have got more than a foot away from Ryan Boland. We'll probably see it here on the replay. But just no hesitation from Palazzo. He saw it squirt, and away he went.
Well, that's just good instincts to see where that ball was going to move away from Ryan Boland.
So up in a scoring position, and tit for tat here go the Dukes, looking to match that run in the top of the first picked up by the Express. Chopper on the infield, and it spins away from Brandon Horn, but they've got Matt Palazzo in a rundown as David Galino, the shortstop, makes a great play on the recovery here. You look at it spin away from Horn, but Galino's already at the bag.
Good
and
cover.
He runs down Palazzo. That's a brilliant play by David Galino. And saves a potentially disastrous outcome where they record an out on the lead runner. So Manuel Godoy now to the plate. And instead of runners on the corners, he's got
Runner at first base.
Yeah, the runner at first base with one out.
With one out. Just
how quickly things change. And David Galino with that play is potentially an inning maker here for the Express.
Well, again, that just good instincts to be backing up Brandon Horn in that situation, just in case Brandon wanted to flip the ball over to Galino too, with that runner at second.
Change of pace out in front is Manuel Godoy. Sean's had a number of successful games against the Dukes over the years, as this one is lifted high and deep to center, back to the track, off the top of the fence. Pinto getting the wave around second. Here's the throw, the play at the plate, and he is safe under the tag. The throw beat him, but Boland couldn't get the tag down in time. Off the fence, Pinto was halfway to second, so good instincts there. And then you'll see the throw and the play at the plate.
First baseman, number 21.
Underneath the tag. And we got ourselves a tie ball game. Some excitement all over the place here. Top of the first, bottom of the first, Joe. And we said off the top, if you could get to either of these two pitchers, it would be, we expected, early in the game.
Exactly. Sean Cleary's been known to have some tough first and second innings, so if they can get onto him, that's a big plus.
Here's a guy who sees a lot of Sean Cleary, Blair Ezekiel. That misses up and away, although Blair spends most of his summers down here in Wisconsin now the last couple of years, so he may not see much of Cleary anymore.
I don't know if you noticed in that play, Blair, but that was good positional umpiring. Brian Bloom come in and made that call at home plate while Tom Keller went out to watch the fly ball.
Oh, this one up and in, and it clunks Blair. Got him on the right forearm. Ryan Boland over to check on his province mate. And that got him high on the wrist, on the right wrist. Blair Ezekiel is a tough guy. He's not down there. There's his brother Kyle has come in to check on him. The three Ezekiel brothers all on different teams here. Blair with Circle Tap, Kyle with Bear Creek, and brother Bradley is with Hill United Chiefs. Blair gets a round of applause as he gets up and makes his way to first base. You know, he's not in any way coming out of this game.
Left fielder, number 19, Justin.
So that'll bring up Justin Laskowski. He's moved up a couple of spots in the batting order, Joe, as they shuffled the middle third here just a bit. Blair was batting fourth the last game, but Justin was down in the 7th spot. Now hitting 5, and an opportunity to add to the run total for the Dukes. This one misses downstairs. So some first inning peril for Bear Creek. And the changeup misses. And that's about as much emotion as you'll ever see out of Sean Cleary, the Iceman. But he was not happy with that call. The long look, when Sean gives you that, he's not happy. And there's a strike on the outside corner. Went back to that outside corner. Sean trying to find a spot on the board. He's moved over, Joe, to his right on the board. You can see over at the right edge. Little excuse me check swing foul, and Laskowski not happy with that.
The umpires for today's game: behind the plate, Tom Keller from Minnesota; first base, Brandon Bloom from Washington; and third base, Kevin Wallace from Shipman, Illinois.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Cleary really needs a strikeout here. And chasing upstairs and obliging is Justin Laskowski. That pitch well out of the zone, but I think they set him up pretty nicely, Joe.
Yeah, good sequencing there.
There's a good look at Scott Stanifer, the skipper for the Circle Top Dukes. Leo Munoz into the lineup in place of Tyrone Bartarillo, and Bartarillo left the game rather abruptly, Joe. Earlier this afternoon, Munoz came on defensively.
Hopefully it's a minor injury and can come back and get back into play.
A little bit of cat and mouse between Cleary and Munoz, taking his time. Joe, we know Sean is very deliberate out there. deep breath.
Very cerebral. How's that one?
That is outstanding, my friend. That's laced foul out of play. I wonder if a fan made a play on that, Joe. Did we catch it? Long time in between pitches again. Cleary really working the ball and the glove. And this one foul back to the screen. And again, a real long time out there. And this one is laced out to right. Walsh will bring it in, cut off by Kyle Ezekiel. Manuel Godoy scores easily, and up to third goes Blair Ezekiel. He went upstairs, Joe, to go get that pitch.
Went after a real tough pitch, but good upper body strength to pull that ball. Drive in the go-ahead run.
So Tyler Johnson now to the plate, the seventh batter of the inning. And this one is fouled off as Tyler chases upstairs. The rise ball right now seems to be working for Sean when it's out of the zone. Munoz hit one above the letters. But he got Laskowski chasing at the eyes. He just had Johnson chasing at the eyes. And a called strike on the outside corner as he went back to the off-speed.
Great pitch by Sean Cleary and Ryan Bolin. Little deception there. It's a big chance for Circle Tap to take a couple-run lead here. On the move. They're trying the rundown play here. Paulai is keeping an eye on it. Blair Ezekiel, and they got him. Oh, my goodness. It looked like they had him. Blair Ezekiel gets the foot on the base under the tag. You see Munoz going halfway trying to draw the throw. Blair Ezekiel gets caught in between. The tag is on the hip. And he got the foot down to the bag. Maybe. John Stewart wants a word or more with Kevin Wallace. Hands on hips. These two are going to go eye to eye, nose to nose here. This looks like a good old-fashioned Earl Weaver confrontation, and it's Wallace giving as good as he's getting. They're not talking about dinner reservations there, Joe. No. And Munoz was smart enough to take off for second base, too.
Yes, he went back most of the way. I don't know if we've got it one more time on the replay.
He was right at the back of the bag.
Yeah, he was all the way to first, and then he takes off for second. At some point, he took off for second.
Well, when they were arguing the call.
Can't do it then.
No.
Not legally, anyway. No. But at some point, he went to second, and unbeknownst to anybody. But a couple runners now in scoring position. Tyler Johnson. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's been a dangerous hitter for the Dukes the last couple of seasons. It's a big opportunity, as you said, to extend this lead. But he chases upstairs for strike 3. The Dukes strand 2, but they take a 2-1 lead through 1 complete. A lot of action. Hopefully we see more of it. 2-1 Dukes.
The New York Gremlins congratulate our own Dr. Bob Neidick on his induction to the ISC Hall of Fame as this year's recipient of the Bob Welby Memorial Recognition of Service Award. Dr. Bob is a 4-time ISC World Champ, winning his first 2 titles with the Kitchener River Shark Twins in 2008 and 2009. His second 2 came with us in 2018 and 2019. And he says, we're not done. Bob started in the game when he was 17 in Pennsylvania and played in a national championship in 1996. His first ISC World Tournament was 2004 in Fargo, North Dakota. Since 2012, he's been a Gremlins co-sponsor, and we couldn't be prouder of him to be recognized for all of his contributions to the game.
Congratulations, Dr. Bob!
For the best Bear Tent banter on the airwaves, listen to Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly. Here's some of the biggest stars chatting with 2 of Newfoundland's own, Jason Hill and Steve Mullally. It's unfiltered and uncensored. Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly, wherever you get your podcasts. Yes, bye.
Kyle Ezekiel will lead things off for the Bear Creek Express. The 7 batter, 7, 8, 9. Kyle Ezekiel, Jason Hill, David Galino. Joe, it took us 27 minutes to play the first inning. We started at 5:45. It's now 6:14. It was 6:13 at the time.
Now both of these pitchers are probably in a groove now, so now it's all going to come back down to defense and pitching.
You think?
Yes.
All right. I don't think the score is going to end 2-1. I'm going to make that prediction right now.
I'm going to say 4-3.
4.
4. Oh, no, that.
No, you're not giving that one away.
No. Too early in the game to tell that.
All right. They're going to ask, and yes, he did go around, says our first base umpire.
Tom Keller, Minnesota. It's the USA softball exchange umpire.
Who's on the dish then?
Tom Keller.
Okay, and who's first base?
Brandon Bloom.
Okay, that's where we got the call. Fouled off. We'll be back momentarily. Stay with us.
Whether you want to improve your grip in wet conditions or just to find the control you've been looking for, the Gorilla Gold Grip Enhancer has become the most recommended name in softball and in every sport where grip plays an important role. Gorilla Gold is the only grip enhancement approved by the ISC, ASA, and NCAA.
Hello, my name is Michael Holobradek. I'm from Czech Republic, playing for Hill United Chiefs, and I'm using Gorilla Gold.
Okay, we're back as home plate umpire Tom Keller got some tape on that finger. Kyle Ezekiel chases one upstairs for strike 3. And we'll get Jason Hill to the plate. Joe, we want to celebrate a Jason Hill milestone, 300 hits in the St. John's Senior League, which has been around since 1957. Only 22 guys in the history of that league have reached 300 career season hits. So good job, Jason Hill.
So important for both of these teams to get the bottom part of their batting orders going. If either one of these teams can excel at getting batters 7, 8, and 9 moving, it's going to make a big difference to the completion of this game.
Jason Hill, high hopper, and that's going to get by everybody and make its way out to Laskowski in left field. So Jason Hill aboard with a single.
Shortstop, number 4, David Galino.
Play a little small ball here.
Maybe.
Get that runner in scoring position for the top part of the order.
Galino is the 9 batter in the order for the Bear Creek Express. There's the bunt attempt and also to the screen, but it took a generous hop, but the throw somewhat errant from Luigi Pinto. I think, Joe, if that's on the money, they've got Jason Hill dead to rights. Watch the hop this takes off the screen, right back into the glove, but having to go get that throw was Dante Mudicatier, the shortstop for the Dukes, and Jason Hill slides in safely underneath it.
Jason very late in the movement off the bag.
Well, the runners have got to be very careful, and we've already seen a couple that have been thrown out on balls to the screen that have just come right back to the catcher. You said the other day the fence has got a lot of leeway to it, and it comes back almost on a trampoline effect.
Yeah, the screen is very tight. And not very deep between home plate and the back screen.
No, it's only about 7 or 8 feet. This one skipped in a 42.5 footer to David Galino and Luigi Pinto.
Yeah.
That's why you wear the chest protector.
Yeah.
Just about all the catchers wear the chest protector these days. You don't see very many that are old school without. The legends will probably see guys with just a mask.
And the old wire one.
Oh, yeah. There's a called strike. So 3 balls, 2 strikes to Galino. Jason Hill got up to second base on that wild pitch. So opportunity for the Express to get back into the game. McCullough, a long look in. And they're going to ask on that one, did he go around? And no, says our
third base umpire Kevin Wallace.
Center fielder, number 27.
Yeah, he's hidden behind the phone pole for me. I literally cannot see Kevin on the field. He is in behind a phone pole.
It's sunny out there. He wants to get in the shade.
Well, that's okay. There he is. You can see him there on your screen at the back of the shot. He made the call. We're back to the top of the shop. Jordan Pomeroy had that single right back up the middle and then through the wickets of Tyler Johnson, and Pomeroy got to third and eventually came in to score the run for Bear Creek Express in the top. Dukes roar back with a pair in the bottom, and we're off to the races. Pomeroy swings and misses. It seems like it takes a few pitches for McCullough to get into every inning.
Yes.
He's got a couple of guys aboard again.
That was a great rise ball on Pomeroy.
Yeah, exactly. That had zip to it. It had movement. And chasing upstairs, Jordan Pomeroy does Devin McCullough a favor.
Third baseman, number 3.
So I'll bring up Brandon Horn.
4 strikeout for McCullough tonight.
And swing and a miss there. McCullough turned up the dial on that one, Joe.
One strike.
And that one misses upstairs.
It's a good setup pitch there. See what sequence he's going to come back with now.
Swings through the rise ball from McCullough, and I got to think you're going to see rise ball here. Letters and up. He's been getting Bear Creek to chase when he's come down in the zone. The ground balls, they're high hoppers, and they're getting by guys.
I wouldn't be surprised to see one climb the ladder here.
We haven't seen the changeup yet. Well, that was the high, hard one, but it wasn't that high.
No.
It was hard.
You're lucky.
Yeah. Jason Hill's out at second. David Galino at first. Those two are sandwiched around a couple of strikeouts. And misses.
Worked himself to a 2-2 count now. Was 2 strikes.
And again, a lot of pitches this inning for Devin McCullough.
23 so far. It was 20 in the first inning.
Swings and misses. The setup was outside. They get Horn chasing. Devin McCullough works into and out of trouble again here in the second. The Dukes will come back to the plate in the home half. Not quite the pitcher's duel we were expecting. We'll see how it turns out. How confident are you in your organization's security posture? If your answer isn't 100%, you're not alone. Most organizations aren't doing enough to protect their data, and they know it. With Armitage technology, you can stop worrying about IT security issues so you can focus on moving your business forward. Our experienced staff monitor and maintain your IT infrastructure to keep your business running. Visit us at armitagetech.com and make your technology work for your business. Well, Ryan Boland and Matt Harrow are having a nice conversation as our home plate umpire Tom Carroll, is it? Keller, sorry, has gone off to get some further repairs. Cleary's going to take some warm-up tosses with David Galino. I wonder how well Harrow and Boland know each other.
Well, from WBSC,
they would have seen each other. That's right, at the
Yeah.
WBSC, and the Dukes have played the Express a couple of times this year. There's Tom Keller making his way back onto the field. You're getting a good look at the Circle Tap environs and the patio that overlooks first base. ZZ Top apparently is here to watch the games.
Great crowd here from Denmark tonight supporting the Circle Tap Dukes. Here on a Tuesday night, just after 6:30 mark, Central Time.
Swing and a miss by Matt Harrow. And Joe, I haven't seen Matt in the previous game or obviously just the first pitch here. He was mostly slapping at the U23 event with Australia. Haven't seen him even attempt that here. And this one is lifted up to center field. Jordan Pomeroy will range back just in front of the warning track to make the out.
The ball looks like it's carrying a bit.
Well, we were sitting out in under the tent
Shortstop, number
prior to the 2 p.m. game, and the wind was definitely blowing out in that direction. So I think that's likely still the case. If you can get one high enough and deep enough in the jet stream, you might benefit from that. Cleary tries to bend one in for a strike, and you won't ever see Sean Cleary in a dispute with an umpire, but I can tell you he is not pleased with the strike zone. That's the extent of the emotion right there that you'll get from Sean. We got the long stare earlier, and then we got the hands apart shrug.
Ryan Boland also had some words.
Chopper on the infield, and that one is through for a base hit for Dante Mudicatier, the shortstop and erstwhile teammate of Sean Cleary and Ryan Boland from 2016.
Matt Palazzo.
We're back to the top of the shop for Matt Palazzo with a runner on, and Matt has been hammering balls,
pulling them all day
down the right side. Tyler Pauli, you suggested this earlier when Matt was up. Tyler Pauli should probably be 10 feet to his left. Big hole between Kyle Ezekiel, Tyler Pauli. Cleary to the outside corner. And there's a high hopper on the infield. Galino will come get it and throw to first for the out. Mudicatier up to second. We have seen so many high hoppers on the infield today, Joe, as guys are beating the ball into the dirt, and it's a hard infield out there. They had it covered all day yesterday, all tarped up with all the rain that we got. It did not touch the infield, so it is hard. They water in between the games, between every game.
Nice and smooth, though. It's a great little surface. Luigi Pinto now at the plate. Runner in scoring position.
Well, he's been in scoring position when he's come to the plate, and Boland is going to go out and have, or halfway at least, and wanted a conference. I know Sean and Ryan, neither are happy with the strike zone right now. And this is not a guy you want to give into and just throw one down the middle.
No.
You've got to be so careful with Luigi Pinto and the streak that he's on right now. You could be down 4-1 in a hurry. And there's a strike. And Manuel Godoy's not happy. He's in the on-deck circle. And he's asking about that call, so nobody's happy right now. I think that's probably how you want it as an umpire, though, isn't it? Took something off that one. It's almost like he guided that one in.
Well, good change of speeds there. I would think he'll come back with a drop ball here. Luigi Pinto called time.
Yeah, so some of the games within the games, Pinto's going to go adjust the batting gloves, and Cleary's going to make him wait even more. But Sean hasn't looked comfortable out there at all, Joe.
No.
Luigi Pinto hits this one straight up the elevator shaft. Bolin hasn't found it. Horn comes in and makes the grab, but it's in and out of the glove. He grabbed it in fair territory but couldn't hang on to it as he actually overran it and tried to reach back. Here you're going to see it again. Bolin never finds it. And Horn on the run reaches back, but it's in and out of the glove, but he touched that in fair territory. And there's another break for Circle Tap. Musketeers up to third, Pinto at first, and Manuel Godoy, who's been an RBI machine the last few years in the World Tournament, will step in.
Manuel Godoy had an RBI back in that first inning, driving in Luigi Pinto.
And chases upstairs, tried to hit that one 1.5 miles and just come up empty.
Good quick hands, though, by Godoy. Really turned on that ball. Nice and smooth.
And waves after that one again, took something off, and they're going to the changeup a little bit more often. They've been getting good location with the off speed, and this fools Manuel Godoy completely, way out on the front foot.
Well, as Matt Palazzo had talked to you about, he's got 2 or 3 different speeds that he uses throughout the game. Used a different one there just to throw off the timing of the batter.
And waves at that one as Cleary works out of that jam. The Dukes strand a couple. 2-1. Joe, you said both pitchers might settle down. Both worked out of jams. They're still not on their A game just yet.
For the latest in softball innovation, the website where you can experience the best tournaments in the Americas. Live games, news, tournaments, and much, much more. The best quality live softball, on demand so you can watch when you want. Become a Premier member now. SoftballPremierTV.com. Live it on Softball Premier. How confident are you in your organization's security posture? If your answer isn't 100%, you're not alone. Most organizations aren't doing enough to protect their data. And they know it. With Armitage Technology, you can stop worrying about IT security issues so you can focus on moving your business forward. Our experienced staff monitor and maintain your IT infrastructure to keep your business running. Visit us at armitagetech.com and make your
Tyler Pauli aboard with a base hit as we go into the top of the third inning. We've got another special guest joining us here in the trailer. I'm joined by Greg Tim from Softball City. Greg is going to be the head of the host committee for the 2024 ISC World Tournament as we go out to Surrey, British Columbia. And Greg, your first look at the ISC World Tournament, what do you think so far?
Amazing level of play. I can't say I've seen a whole bunch of men's play at this level. These players are unbelievable. I was watching the pitching here. They must be throwing the ball 80 miles an hour.
Yeah, they're going to be in that 80-mile-an-hour range. These guys are two of the harder throwers, and some more controversy here is the umpires are right in the middle of this one. There's a little bit of a pass ball and up into the bag, and they thought that he slid past the bag is the argument that they're going to make. Greg, Softball City, of course, you've got that four-diamond complex, beautiful four-diamond complex. You've hosted everything from Olympic qualifiers, the annual Canada Cup tournament. You're going to have the Canadian National Championship there this year, and then the ISC. What made you think about going after the ISC World Tournament?
Well, we wanted to try to re-inspire boys to play softball. So we're run by a not-for-profit society. We're not in it to make a buck. We're into it to invest money. Softball in our area, Metro Vancouver, is on a bit of a lag. We're not joining a lot of young kids. So we've hosted a provincial championship this year, a Canadian championship next year, this ISC World Tourney, and we're hoping to re-inspire boys to play, maybe to attract some over from baseball or from other sports and just make the game feel important. And I think we're on track to do that.
You just got a glimpse of the facility in Surrey that's going to host the ISC World Championship next year. What can people expect coming out to Surrey, BC?
Well, we think we've got a beautiful area to come and visit, and some people might want to take an extra day or two and do a little touring if they're going to spend the money to come. And our natural venue at Softball City is a beautiful sort of a treed amphitheater type feeling, especially our championship diamond. So it's on a good day, it's rather breathtaking. And we've got a nice stadium feel to our championship diamond. Lots of extra events we're going to have, and we're trying to celebrate the sport, the men's sport. This organization has such a long and rich history, and we're trying to incorporate that into the event. So it's not just about the people on the field to play, it's the ones that got them here and the ones that played before. And we're going to spend a year trying to put that together so everybody in the sport feels like, wow, that was a lot of fun.
You talked to the ISC Board of Directors meeting last night, and you mentioned that you've got a social media campaign that you're building as well as an awareness campaign in the community. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, we've got some history, I suppose. There's some experience here in running a media and social media campaign. So we've already got television deals cut and radio deals prepared for the Men's World Tournament. And we've got a social media plan ready to roll out here. We're holding back until this tournament is finished out of respect for the good people here at Circle Tap. And I would say within 2 or 3 weeks, we're going to start to send out ticketing information, wearing apparel. We're just going to start the buzz. And the sooner we start, the further they will come from, I think. So we're hoping we're going to get some of our friends from New Zealand and Newfoundland and Mexico and some of the people that are huge supporters of this sport. We're hoping that they'll come in and spend some time. And then we also want to honor some of our alumni. We, in our area in the Pacific Northwest, we have a rich history of softball in Victoria, a huge program for so many years, and lots of people that love the sport there. and some from a huge area in Seattle. They had a great softball program, fast pitch. So we're hoping we can bring some of those folks in. And others just around Metro Vancouver when the sport was, really important, and we want to try to make it feel important again.
Oh, that's great. We're really looking forward to it. You think of teams like Victoria Payless, Victoria Bates before them, and the Vancouver Magicians, Seattle Pay and Pack. There's so many teams from that Pacific Northwest that have a wonderful history in the ISC, and that'll be great to see and to recognize. That's fantastic stuff.
And so many national team players from the United States and Canada and other places that still live in that area, like just so many players that added to this game and really in a certain way got to these young guys to where they are now, because you've always got to have somebody that steps in the shoes before you do, and that's what we're trying to capture here. So we're going to have some fun, we're going to have some off-field fun, and we are going to try to celebrate those boys on the field and how good they are. And if we can get enough people in the park to watch this, it's our belief that they will come back. Because when you actually spend time watching this game, you think, holy Hannah, these guys are fantastic. And if we can get them in, we think we'll keep bringing them in.
And Joe and I have been saying this, and many others over the years. This is such a hidden gem, men's fast pitch. The athletes are all top-level athletes, and we just need to get that exposure, and it's great, the plans that you're talking about. So much looking forward to visiting the West Coast with the ISC. It's been many years since we've been out there. 1997, I think, would be the last time in Victoria at Royal Athletic Park, which sadly is no longer there.
Interesting to us is that the ISCs have never ever been hosted in the Metro Vancouver area.
Yeah.
The Canadian National Championships have never ever been hosted in Metro Vancouver, not once. So we're
crazy.
It is. Like, you think about how many teams and players have played, but I guess nobody wanted to take the responsibility or step up. And I think maybe back in our day we had a little bit of an anti softball BC, softball Canada flavor a little bit. I don't know, but they like to just run their leagues. And we want to do something bigger. And our view of the sport in our society is to try to do things that are extraordinary and kind of have a bit of a wow factor to the sport. And that's the way we're going to view this. And I'll tell you in about 13 months whether we got it right or not.
Well, I think the people that we talk to, everybody is looking forward to the opportunity, one, to come to a new venue, but two, one as spectacular as Softball City is a draw in and of itself. And the players, there's already a buzz amongst the players for the opportunity to get onto that field.
Yeah, we hope that some of the teams that are kind of counting their pennies now to see if they can afford to come can make the decision now. Flights are actually very inexpensive if they book it in the next couple of months. You can get into Vancouver from the east for $350 return. And we have a bit of a challenge with accommodations, but with some effort and time, everybody can work through that. And if the sport pulls together and says, okay, let's do this, man, like let's just put some oomph into this and make this the best ever, we think it could be pretty fantastic.
Well, we're all here on the ISC looking forward to the opportunity to visit the West Coast, to bring what we think is the greatest show in men's fast pitch to Surrey, British Columbia. We're talking with Greg Tim, the head of the host committee, and they're going to be hosting the 2024 ISC World Tournament for the first time. What are some of the things that players can look forward to outside of the park?
Well, our area, for one, I think it's pretty spectacular, the Metro Vancouver area. We're going to have some tours planned for the spouses, girlfriends, whatever. Players, if they have a day off in the middle of their schedule, they might take us up on that, or players that are coming in, maybe come in a day early. There's lots to do there. And I think maybe we undersell ourselves a bit. This isn't one of the best softball events in the world. This is a great sports event, and I've been around lots of events. You don't get many events with 60 or 70 teams at this caliber. I don't care what sport you're playing, soccer, football, hockey, whatever. This is a fantastic event, and a huge congratulations to the ISC board for keeping this fire burning and keeping this thing viable. And, I'm here this week to kind of learn from the good people at Circle Tap on how they have viewed the event and how they try to surround the event with celebration. And congratulations to these people. They have done a fantastic job in taking care of a lot of details. And it's those things that make an event great, not just the games.
We had Dean Kane from the host committee up here earlier in the week. He talked about the number of volunteers. Obviously, you've got that in place because you run events like the Canada Cup with literally over 100 teams. You guys have got that expertise.
Yeah, we I think we got about 3 weeks of oxygen now from breathing after the Canada Cup. We were up to about 575 volunteers during the Canada Cup and a big support network of vendors and some staff people and whatnot, and it's our plan to kind of put on that kind of a show where we have the detail, and this sport is made to feel important. We want to be good hosts. The event we're going to host at our park, it's not our event. It belongs to the ISC and it belongs to the sport. Our job is to view that as hospitality, as organization, as field preparation, and making sure we serve it up so that the players can show off how great they are. And I think we are in good track here. We're pulling a few top-notch organizers off the bench that haven't been involved in men's softball for a few years, and we're going to put them to work, and they might be sorry they answered my call, but they have. And we hope that what they bring back to the sport when it was at its dressed up best, that it's going to add a little bit here. So that's our hope, and we're going to spend a good year putting this together.
Greg, the excitement in your voice as you're talking about this gets me excited. I can hardly wait for 2024 to get here. We've still got over half the tournament to go here in 2023, but already really looking forward to 2024. Greg Tim, head of the host committee for the 2024 ISC World Tournament, thanks for joining us up here in the booth and just giving us a little bit of a sneak peek about all the excitement that awaits. Can't wait for it.
Thank you. I appreciate the time you've had me on here, and again, congratulations to the folks running this sport, this event. It's been great, and it's been a fantastic learning opportunity for us just to spend some time viewing this, and it'll help us run a better event next year, so we really appreciate everybody's time.
Well, enjoy the last few hours that you're here. I know you got a long travel day ahead of you tomorrow, but and enjoy the fantastic ball, and we'll be talking very shortly.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Greg. Much appreciated.
Welcome to Mont Hill Country Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see you soon.
For the latest in softball innovation, the website where you can experience the best tournaments in the Americas. Live games, news, tournaments, and much, much more. The best quality live softball, on demand so you can watch when you want. Become a Premier member now. SoftballPremierTV.com. Live it on Softball Premier.
Well, for Bear Creek in the top of the third inning, they led off with Tyler Pauli, got on by way of a single, advanced to second on a pass ball. Then Quentin Bruce followed that up with a walk. Then we had 3 consecutive strikeouts. 1 looking by Colin Walsh and 2 swinging, 1 by Ryan Bullen and 1 by Kyle Ezekiel. That completed the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 2 runners left on base. Now we're off to the bottom of the third inning with Circle Tap Dukes. Now coming to the plate, Blair Ezekiel now at the plate.
And Joe Todd, I don't know about you, but I'm ready to go buy a plane ticket to Vancouver right now after that interview with Greg Tim. He is so excited about the ISC World Tournament coming to Softball City in Surrey, BC, beautiful British Columbia. And for the players on the men's side, they've seen the women play at that facility. I know they can't wait to get there. There it is, Softball City. There's the championship diamond, and I'm hoping that place is going to be full when we are visiting there next year.
Just remarkable. Great motivational guy, though. Just fires you up. Blair Ezekiel got on by way of a hit by pitch back in the first inning.
Probably still feeling it, too.
Yeah, a little burn.
Joe, just to catch us up on the out-of-town scoreboard, JB up 9-2 in the fourth on the Waterdown Hammer. Circle Top, of course, leading 2-1 here. Ostrander Norseman, 2-1 winners over Oma Tigre. That will end the Tigre's run here at the ISC World Tournament rather prematurely. Second year in a row, Oma is out early. Niagara Stompers, 7-0 winners over the AHI Reapers. So the Stompers move on in the winners bracket, and maybe they are rounding into form, Joe. They looked awful the last couple of weeks, quite honestly, but this is the tournament they've been aiming at, and maybe they are getting there.
You want to peak at the right time.
Hard hit ball in and out of the glove of Pauli, stays with it and does not get Blair Ezekiel, who still can get down the line when he needs to. Showed the hustle here.
Good hard hit ball. I'm giving him a single.
You.
Yes.
You. Mr. Harsh scorer.
Yes.
Okay.
Good. Well hard hit ball, and it took a little bit of a high bounce, too, on Tyler.
Well, Blair is going to head back to the dugout after that sprint down to first, and a well-deserved break. We'll get a pinch runner as Julian Fernandez, who is the number 3 pitcher for the Dukes. So confidence in the way that Devin McCullough and Jorge Segura are going. We've also got Matt Ratliff, Tyrone Bartarillo, and Ryan Sinclair on the bench. And you probably want to save those 3 guys for pinch hit appearances. And then it's just Jorge Segura, so you're not going to use Jorge to run for anybody. So Julian Fernandez it is.
Just 15 names on the Circle Top Dukes roster this year.
Justin Laskowski at the plate. He fouls this one off to the screen. Went right after that one, too, Joe. They started him at the letters. They got him over the eyes his last trip.
Watch the stance of Justin Laskowski. Really compressed stance there. See, he's in that batter's box. Squares the bunt now. Called a strike.
Well, he left the bat out. Joe, the ISC 2 tournament got underway about...
Supposed to have been around 3 o'clock.
Yeah, about 3 o'clock. Couple of finals. New Zealand Blue Sox beat the Grand Valley Expos 3-1. Kingston Axemen are up 2-0 on the Alvinston Aces. That's in the 7th inning. Pueblo Bandits topped the Midland Explorers 10-1. My goodness, Pueblo erupting there for 10 runs.
Good to see them going.
They needed to get their bats going. They had a couple of tough games in the World Tournament. Now, those games are being played at Mirabel Diamond, which is out of town from Denmark, about 10-15 minutes out of town. They used to play the Boys of Summer games there, and then move those games here into Memorial Park. I was talking with Woody, our head scorekeeper, and they were having a little bit of connectivity issues with the Game Changer over there. So if you're following along for the ISC 2 tournament on Game Changer, stay with us. The games at Mirabel will be put into the system, and you'll get all the stats and everything. Laskowski waves at strike 3. We've got some of the games that are getting caught live scored. The Stoneyard Pegasus Redmond game, I think, was one of the games that was causing some difficulty on the second diamond over at Maribel. But ISC 2 underway. Championship game for that will be here 2 p.m. Thursday. We'll bring you that game and the award ceremony afterwards. Valeo Munoz singled his last trip. He went upstairs and got one about shoulder height. Knocked it out to first base, or right field, past first base, out to right field. And this one's down the left side out of play. Cleary didn't like that one. Looks pretty shiny and new, to be honest. If you're the batter, you're probably happy that he gave that one back. And this one is foul back to the screen. That's a good hack by Munoz.
It's right on that pitch. Cleary with 50 pitches so far in the game with 4 strikeouts, 1 hit batsman. Giving up 5 hits.
Well, we're not going to get this game done in an hour and 4 minutes like we did the last one.
No.
I don't think any of us expected to either. And that's no knock on anybody in particular, but when you get to this point of the tournament, these are the games where you're getting the teams that are much closer together in the rankings, and these games are going to be a little bit more drawn out, without a doubt. And
Great
waves
pitch.
at that changeup.
Great pitch.
Yeah, they seem to be able to pull that one out at will and get it there for a strike.
The change of speeds is such a great tool for Sean Cleary.
Oh, it is absolutely the not just the equalizer, it's the advantage for Sean, because you don't know when it's coming and you're geared up for the hard stuff. Tyler Johnson, 2 down now. And that's off the screen and foul.
Give full credit to Ryan Bull and his catcher for proper sequencing there.
You don't see a lot of shake-offs from Sean, do you?
No.
The level of trust there is pretty significant.
I think Ryan might go out and have a word with him and take a ball.
I think they had the conference for this inning,
Yes.
though, did they not?
Yeah,
I think you're right. They did have it, so it would be a ball on the batter.
Good pitch location, though.
Well, just off the plate.
Yep.
Tom Keller has been pretty good on the corner, off the corner.
It's not Sean Cleary's opinion, but
well, that's true. But you know what? I mean,
yeah, you can only
it's
expect
not like
them to
it's
stay
there
consistent.
and it's not. I mean, those pitches where Ryan is reaching out to his left past the knee pad have consistently been called a ball.
Yeah.
That one's right down the middle.
Great center field shot there.
Well, and you see the blue wrap on the right arm of Tom Keller, so that's where he's been nicked. drop away. I saw the 2 go down. Yep. Strike 3. Down goes Tyler Johnson. The Dukes leave 1 runner aboard. A couple of zeros have gone up the last couple of innings, but the Dukes 2-1 with the lead. We'll go to the top of the 4th. The Express coming back to the plate.
Small town USA, the birthplace of the great sport of men's fast-pitch softball. Nowhere more so than Denmark, Wisconsin. Well, softball fans, it's back. The ISC World Tournament is coming back to Denmark and historic Circle Tap Park. August 12th to 19th of 2023. The best of the best in men's fast-pitch land in Wisconsin for 8 days of top-level softball action. Located just minutes from everything downtown Green Bay has to offer. Fans will be able to catch all the ISC action, both at the newly refinished fields in Denmark and at John Miller Field in world-famous Circle Tap Park, where you can enjoy the games along with great food and drink specials. Find ISC Fast Pitch or the 2023 World Tournament links on social.
Blarezico back in defensively for Circle Tap as he goes back out to first base. Jason Hill, David Galino, and then back to the top of the shop. 8-9-1 for the Bear Creek Express. Jason Hill singled his last trip. He's going to do some wandering around the left side batter's box, a little bit of grooming. Devin McCullough waiting for Jason Hill to get into the box, and now we're set. McCullough zips in that strike. One and one. And 1 and 2. Joe, we've talked a lot about the evolution of Jason Hill as a hitter over the years. Used to be just a dead pull hitter. Everything was down the right field line. You could stack 4 guys between second and first and probably have a better shot at getting him out. But the last few years, his game has really expanded as he hits the ball to center and left. Yeah,
sprays it well.
Oh, that was up and in from McCullough, and they got the bat on it, fortunately. And McCullough saying sorry to Jason Hill, who's got a bit of a wry grin on his face. He and Louis Trapinto are laughing about it right now, but that could have been a different outcome. So Hill gets back in the box and sets McCullough on the board. And this one is laced out to left. We talked about Jason Hill going to all fields. There it is. That's 2 to the left side today from Hill and 2 singles that way.
Shortstop, number 4, David Galino.
John Stewart down to make a substitution for Jason Hill. Nestor Nova on to run at first. There you see Nestor. That's Doug Charlton, assistant coach over at first base. Galino almost assuredly bunting here, I got to think, Joe.
Yes.
There it is, the square, and lets it go by for a strike.
A bunt is a lot harder than everybody tries to think about, and you got to work at it. You have to practice it.
Swinging away and fouls that one off the screen. And Munoz has a yard sale with glasses going one way and something else going the other. Way up off the screen. Great bounce. And out at second. Pinto got the bounce of the century off the screen. Watch this. Right into his bare hand. You couldn't have designed it any better.
No.
And sliding right into the tag. Nestor Nova, nothing he can do about it. Look again at how this bounce comes back. Off the glove even for Pinto. And he just comes up firing, and the tag on the back before he gets to the bag. Nestor Nova erased on the caught stealing. And at some point, Joe, the guys are going to have to figure out that it's a 50-50 proposition at best on a pass ball that's up, that's a rise ball.
Yeah, you give an assist to that tight screen and the nearness of the ball between that plate and the back screen.
Galino chases the drop ball and gives himself a mighty tap on the top of the helmet on his way off the field.
Center fielder, number 27.
Anything that's up, you've almost got to stop and see if it kicks away. If it's a drop ball down, you can likely go on the wild pitch or the pass ball, but you can't go. You just can't. Pomeroy calls time. That misses down and away. And Joe, it's not quite early as late time yet, but it's the fourth. Bear Creek's left how many on base? 6?
6 so far.
And a weak swing from Pomeroy, didn't commit to it. You've got to start thinking that we've had our chances with Devin McCullough, and what do we need to do? You got to get that key hit is what you need to do. Final up in Denmark, JB 9-2 over the Waterdown Hammer, and I think that will put an end to the run for the Waterdown Hammer. And chases upstairs. Pomeroy down on strikes. McCullough picks up 2 more. Bear Creek haven't been able to do a thing since Jordan Pomeroy scored in the first. Circle tap Dukes out in front, 2-1.
This business was opened in 1965 by my father, Ned Matiosi. Could have walked in here 25, 30 years ago and seen just about the same thing. The process of making this suit takes about 6 weeks. It goes through about 12 or 13 hands as it's moved along the line. It's an old-time place. Making stuff from scratch here in the city at a reasonable cost. It's a very personal type of business.
Matt Harrow to the dish for Circle Tap Dukes. Matt, his ISC debut, he's already got 2 WBSC World Cups to his credit, Joe Todd. In the last 8 months, he was a member of the Aussie Steelers men's team that won in early December over Canada. And that base hit right back up the middle. I think that's the first hit of the ISC tournament for Matt Harrow, and he gets a round of applause. And then Matt was a member of the U23 team that won in Paraná in Argentina in April.
Not a bad year.
And with that, Justin Schofield immediately pops out of the dugout, and maybe we'll get a shot of the bullpen for the Express. Monacotier lifts this one out to short left. Bruce on the run, and backpedaling is David Galino. Makes a catch off to the side. That's some confidence, Joe. Backpedaling, and then you just throw the glove out to the side.
Well, it's got to be a real tough play because he's backing himself into the sun, too, over there. Well, it's got to be a lot easier for that left fielder to come in.
Bruce is coming in, but he's looking into the sun also on the run. And that's center and left are the only places where the sun is still on the diamond. But it's setting back over the bar to the right side as you see the shot right now. And there's Justin Schofield warming up in the bullpen. Riley Mannion, who is doing the safekeeping, pitched the afternoon. I guess it was a morning game that they had. It was a 10 a.m. game, yeah. Riley Mannion pitched this morning.
Justin Schofield pitched an inning and 2/3 against Lacey A's, had 4 strikeouts and no walks.
Matt Palazzo just about came out of his shoes there chasing that high rise ball. We had the opportunity to chat with Matt for the first couple of innings during the Gremlins game, and he is keyed up for this one.
Well, this game is huge, right in the middle of the board.
Chopper on the infield, the flip to 2 for 1, back to first, call it 2, 4-6-3, and the Express get out of the inning. And another 0 thrown up on the board. A bunch of them since the first. Will go to the top of the 5th. 2-1 still for the Dukes.
Dreamcatcher, inch by inch, we'll fight to make the lives of First Nations people in this community, this province, and on this continent better. I know we have a long way to go, but I'm proud to say as long as our people have a need, Dreamcatcher will be there for them.
Well, what's on tap, Joe Todd, I can tell you, is 3 more at least exciting innings in this one between Circle Tap and the Bear Creek Express as a fan falls out of his chair trying to get to that foul ball. And now we're waiting for it to come back in, and that fan doesn't want to give it up. Leo Munoz was kind of motioning to him. Come on, man. Throw it back. Joe, what's the tale of the tape say so far?
After 4 complete, the 1 run for the Bear Creek Express on 4 hits, 6 runners left on base. For Circle Tap, 2 runs, 6 hits, 6 runners left on base.
Each team has had the opportunity to do more and just hasn't been able to get the key hit, as Devin McCullough and Sean Cleary have been good when they needed to be, but I would say both are far from their best.
Yes. To win this style of game, you got to capitalize on the situations you're in. If you walk away from those situations, you're going to look back at them.
Brandon Horn, 2-hopper right to Munoz, and his counterpart tossed to first for the first out of the inning.
Second baseman, number 6, Tyler Pauly.
Devin McCullough with 84 pitches so far in the game.
Well, he settled down certainly after the first and second, much more efficient in the third.
It's still a pretty high pitch count for after 4 innings. You're looking at about 21 pitches per inning.
I agree, but he threw about, 20 and 23,
22.
43 of those in the first 2 innings.
Yeah.
But if he's at 85, it's really just kind of 6 of one, half a dozen the other, I guess. It felt like he had been a little bit more efficient maybe in the third and fourth, but maybe not.
He got runners on base, but then he struck them out. So he likes to tease you a lot.
It's been a seesaw affair on back and forth, at least, trading some punches with getting the runners on base. Swing and a miss by Pauly. That looked like he took something off of it, but it wasn't the full-blown Devin McCullough changeup, which have we even seen one?
I don't think so.
It's mostly been it's almost exclusively been the hard stuff.
Yeah. Just missing.
The crowd is continuing to stream in as we're up to almost 7:20 local time. Well, that was a called strike that Tyler Pauly would disagree with. You don't often see him have this kind of conversation with the umpire.
But don't do it. Yeah, that's not going to help you.
Ball 4 to Pauly. Or was that? Wasn't a hit by pitch.
No, it was not.
Yeah, okay. He kind of gave a shake of the elbow here.
Yeah. Well, I think he was wanting to intimidate the umpire.
Okay. Quentin Bruce to the plate. Tyler Pauly out at first, and another base runner for the Bear Creek Express. Heart of the order, Quentin Bruce, who batted leadoff a fair bit through the season with the coaching change to John Stewart. Bruce inserted into the 4 spot. Ryan Boland down to 6. Pauly had been in the 2 spot. Horn was down in the 9 spot for the bulk of the season, up hitting 2, where I really like Brandon Horn in that 2 spot just for his experience and his versatility and the things he can do with an at-bat.
Either 2 or 9.
That seems to be where he's hit almost his whole career, isn't it? Chopper out to 2, backhand, a flip, and safe at first base. The Dukes thought they had turned the double play.
Let's watch it closely here on the replay.
Great pick by Matt Harrow on the backhand, and he's past the bag safe.
Right fielder, number 16, Colin Walsh.
Colin Walsh. Colin has ruled the St. John's League the last couple of seasons. Picked up regular season and playoff MVP awards and pitching wins.
Colin looking for his first hit of the game. Caught swinging back in the first inning and got looking in the third inning.
Well, no time like the present. And this one is tapped out to the gap and center. Diving attempt. It gets by Tyler Johnson. Here's the throw. It's bobbled at short. And coming in to tie the game is Quentin Bruce. He got the wave from Jeff Pauline. Never broke stride. And it was bobbled at short by Madakatir. You see Bruce sliding in unnecessarily. But that's the key hit that the Express have needed, Joe, for about 3-4 innings. They finally get it here in the 5th, and we got ourselves a tie ball game.
Finally hit a gap there. Great attempt there by that center fielder, Tyler Johnson, and good cover by Justin Laskowski.
Joe, coming up, Toronto Batmen, New York Gremlins, hot off the press, Jack Besgrove and Dustin Wienhoff. A curious choice. Wienhoff, a lefty, maybe giving the Gremlins a different look. Misses upstairs. Ty Sebastian threw a whale of a game this morning as the Batmen beat the Grand Prairie Pirates 5-0. Had a home run in the game. Justin Schofield and the crew just got up in a hurry, Joe, down the right field line, and I wonder if we're going to see them come on in the bottom of the 5th. Schofield looked like they just got up with some intent. Boland, big cut, comes up empty. And whether Cleary just not feeling it today or John Stewart thinking enough is enough, as
I'm going to be surprised if they're pulling Cleary out of there.
I would be a little bit surprised too, but they're going to be third time through the rest of the order here, and maybe that's what John Stewart is thinking.
I think it's going to take a...
Boland hits this one out to left field, getting the wave. Here comes Colin Walsh as he scores, and just like that, Bear Creek Express take the lead, Joe.
Good punch out there by Ryan Boland to go after that first pitch. Drive in that go-ahead run.
You see Walsh with the
bench is fired up now.
Escalation as he gets back to the plate.
Now batting for Bear Creek, number 44.
And we got pinch hitter as Jeff Lyons is on to pinch hit for Kyle Ezekiel. John Stewart going to the bench. And between the pitcher-catcher and the guardian, Stewart, Charlton, Jason Hill, Jeff Lyons, there's about 14 guys from Bear Creek on the right side of the infield there. And we got a pinch runner as well for Ryan Boland as, who's that, number 22 for
Robbie Black.
Robbie Black, the youngster who's on the lineup for just this purpose. That misses downstairs. Jeff Lyons is a great stick to be able to come off the bench. He's gotten a lot of playing time through the season as you play in tournaments and everybody gets opportunities. A good veteran stick to come in.
He's a tough out.
Now, didn't really commit to the swing there. Would probably like that one back. 1 ball, 1 strike. And that one misses inside to Lyons, and McCullough a bit of a sigh and a frown. He'll go take a walk. 2 balls and 1 strike. 2 out, but 2 runs in for the Express this inning. They've taken a 3-2 lead. And skips this one, and good job by Pinto.
Great job.
Block the
stand there and block that plate. You got to have faith in that catcher to be able to block that pitch and call it too in that type of situation.
Joe and ISC 2 final. Kingston Axemen pick up their first win of the week, 2-0 over the Alvinston Aces. 3-2 as McCullough gets a call in his favor. 2 out, Black will be on the move. This one is fouled out of play.
All this happening with 2 out too, these 2 runs.
Swing and a miss. Jeff Lyons down on strikes. Bear Creek Express strike for 2 with 2 out. They'll take a 3-2 lead into the home half of the 5th, and suddenly for the Dukes, early, starting to look a little late.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see you soon. Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club with our beautiful 27.
Joe, Jeff Lyons stays in defensively for Kyle Esical at first base. Certainly a bigger target over at first base, as Jeff is about 6'3", 6'4". Luiger Pinto to the plate. Our good friend Kyle Smith picking up that Scott Standerfer was pointing to Jorge Segura as Devin McCullough was coming off, so we may see a pitching change for the Dukes. But in the meantime, at the plate, 2-3-4 for the hometown Dukes. Luiger Pinto, Manuel Godoy, Blair Esical. You're where you want to be in the Dukes order right now. These guys have been producing.
Sean Clary with just 63 pitches compared to over 80 for Devin McCullough. A lot more economical.
Well, he's definitely settled down after the first, and getting through the first is
always a challenge.
Yeah, as we've said over the years, always a challenge.
Maybe he should just come in the second.
Swing and a miss. Pinto. Big long swing way over the top. Top of the 5th inning, Kegel Black Knights are up big, 9-1 on Marchio Sausage. They'll just be looking for 3 outs as Kegel, the home team in that one. HI Reapers will be taking on the Ohio Bombers in 8 o'clock action. Elmira Expos and Oswegan Redmen also at 8 p.m. And then our game here at 8, Joe Todd, New York Gremlins, Toronto Batmen. Upstairs to Pinto. You could see he was geared and wanted to go after that pitch, but able to hold back.
Just looking at the last 3 games for Circle Tap Dukes, Luigi Pinto been up to plate appearances of 9. He's been on base 9 times.
Well, 3 of those are home runs and 10 RBIs.
Yeah.
There was a bases loaded double, which cleared the bases. Some zip, but it looked upstairs from Cleary, but he's 3/4 of the way into the plate, and as demonstrative as I've seen Sean Cleary in any game, 3 times now he has come in to express some mild disapproval.
Looking for that next call. Hopefully get him on your team.
Luiger Pinto chases upstairs and
Just
fails to reach base for the first time this tournament.
First broadcaster's curse.
Right fielder, number 52.
Yeah, you bigged him up.
Yeah.
Make it a final. Kegel Black Knights, 9-1 winners over Marchio Sausage. They will stay alive in the losers bracket. By the end of the night, we will be caught up on the schedule. All credit to Rich Haldane, who spent countless hours yesterday into the late night getting the schedule redone, and Cleary is going to turn his back, and this is now bordering on a full-fledged argument from Sean Cleary.
Yeah.
Not happy with the strike zone. Godoy chases off the outside corner. That's a real good pitch from Sean Cleary to be...
Put something extra into that pitch, too.
Yeah, he did. That might have been the hardest pitch he's thrown all game. And pinpoint location there, just off the outside corner, and Godoy chased. Just upstairs, just above the letters. Sean does more landscaping out there than anybody I know. Should hire himself out during the week.
Yeah.
And this one is popped up on the infield, and actually it's going to make its way out to short center. Pomeroy will come in and call off David Galino for the out. Blair Esical will step in.
First baseman, number 21.
2 down.
Esical.
And those 2 runs, Joe, just seem to have sucked all the oxygen out of the crowd. It's really quieted down.
Yeah, they need to get a couple of hits here in a row, perk that crowd back up again, put them on their team so they get some motivation from the crowd that's here cheering them on. Sean and Blair exchanging pleasantries. Good pitch there by Sean Cleary. Way up in the count.
Yeah, 0-2 to Blair. That pitch, real tough location. Boy, there's nothing you could have done with that pitch. It was down and in.
Good little cat and mouse game here between Cleary and Ezekiel.
Well, these two know each other so well. Swing and a miss. They get Blair Ezekiel. A 1-2-3 inning for Cleary. I think that's the first one he's had, is it not?
No, we had that double play ball.
Right. Okay. So, throwing up some zeros are the Bear Creek Express on the Dukes. They've got now a 3-2 lead, and we got a new pitcher. We'll talk about that coming back.
Whether you want to improve your grip in wet conditions or just to find the control you've been looking for, the Gorilla Gold Grip Enhancer has become the most recommended name in softball and in every sport where grip plays an important role. Gorilla Gold is the only grip enhancement approved by the ISC, ASA, and NCAA.
My name is Michael Holobradek. I'm from Czech Republic, playing for Hill United Chiefs, and I'm using Gorilla Gold.
My name is Pablo Miglievaca from Argentina, and for every game I use Gorilla Gold.
Hola, mi nombre es Samuel Villalbazo, pitcher de la Selección de México, y en todos mis juegos uso Gorilla Grip.
Hi, I'm Adam Folkard, I play for the Hill United Chiefs from Australia, and I've been using Gorilla Gold my whole life.
My name's Jack Vesco from Australia, and I can't pitch without Gorilla Gold.
Gorilla Gold, the feel for the game.
Jorge Segura on in relief of Devin McCullough. Jorge coming off a 5-inning no-hitter earlier this afternoon, Joe Todd, but coming in now trailing 3-2 to the Bear Creek Express, and Sean Cleary starting to look a little bit stronger, Joe.
Yes, he's really got control of his pitches right now.
So Jason Hill, and then David Galino, and then back to the top of the shop for Jordan Pomeroy. Justin Schofield, who I thought got up with some purpose a couple of innings ago, is still throwing, but much more casually now. To the extent that the way Schof throws, it can be casual.
Yeah.
He puts everything into every pitch.
Well, practice hard, play hard.
Hill holds up. Segura with the twist and swinging over the top of the drop. And this is a big change. And, Joe, we talked about this earlier in the week with the Dukes. They've got a guy who predominantly throws rise balls in Devin McCullough, and then Segura, who is a drop ball specialist and just gets ground ball after ground ball. It's a nice mix.
Yeah, great. They complement each other.
And that's a high hopper and snared by Manuel Godoy. So some defensive changes too. Blair Ezekiel, I just saw Blair out in front of our trailer here. Essentially likely a position switch, as Godoy has gone to first, and maybe Blair is out of the game, because out and right is Matt Palazzo. With Blair being a strikeout victim to end the inning, they can make that defensive change and re-enter him if they need to later in the game. But that is now Ratliff out in right.
Yeah.
Hill gets clunked by Segura. I think Pinto took a bit of the brunt of this too, did he not?
Yeah, a little bit. I think Jason got most of it.
Well, got all three of them.
Yeah.
Wow, 3 for 1.
Yeah. Triple header.
Watch this. Off the hip, it gets Pinto, and then through him and hits the umpire. Off the knee, I guess.
Second hit by pitch issued by Circle Tap today.
So Galino, who's been up in a bunting situation, Joe, every time he's been up this game. And this time he gets one down. It's a good one. Munoz throws it right over his shoulder to get the out at first. Godoy actually stayed back at the bag.
Great play.
Well, that was good all the way around.
Yeah.
That was good execution on the bunt by Galino. You got a drop ball pitcher, so you stand a better chance of getting the bunt down.
And Munoz threw that ball without his feet planted, so he's throwing that all with his arm and his shoulder.
But all right over the shoulder of Galino running down the baseline. I mean, that was an outstanding play. And now John Stewart is going to...
making sure Jason Hill's okay to run. Imagine.
Well, yeah, and Hill is flexing that right leg there, the calf. He's down at the calf. And
it's going to tighten up on him.
They've got Travis Jones, who could go into not just run but also hit, but they're going to leave Hill out there for now. And this is their last game of the day. They played 2 today because of the rain out yesterday. And they'll have an off day tomorrow, so I'm not sure why you need to risk anything further with Jason Hill if you've got Travis Jones available.
Yeah.
In for a called strike on Jordan Pomeroy, who has kind of struggled the last couple of at-bats, Joe.
Yeah, had started off the game with a single and ended up scoring, but struck out in the second inning and struck out swinging in the fourth inning.
That's what misses downstairs. Joe, want to say hello to Corey Alkerton, who's joining us from up in Eastern Ontario. Swing and a miss there by Pomeroy. And down on strikes again. And he had that nice base hit to open up the game, but really has struggled since.
Yes. First strikeout for Segura.
Downstairs to Horn. Joe, the first time I remember hearing about Jorge Segura, I want to say it was 2013 at a Pan Am qualifier that was down in Argentina, maybe 2014, but I think it was 2013. And he pitched about a 10-inning scoreless draw with Canada. Canada finally scratched out a run against Jorge and his Guatemalan national team in late, like deep into extra innings, and they won. I think they won the game 2-1 or 1-0. And I remember thinking, and all of us were thinking the same thing. Who is this guy?
Yeah.
And he's come up into the ISC and has done very well. Just off the outside corner. Manuel Godoy is almost playing short right field. He's 7 feet behind the bag at first. There's a strike.
Pitching line for Devin McCullough, 5 innings, 3 runs, 6 hits, 11 strikeouts, 4 walks, and 1 hit batsman.
Misses downstairs, so full count to Brandon Horn. You don't need to run if you're Jason Hill, especially the way you're feeling that calf out, that right calf at second base. Segura shakes a couple, finally nods. I'm guessing drop on the outside corner. Well, they go inside, and ball 4 to Brandon Horn. Slight advantage here right now with Tyler Pauli, Joe, if only because with a drop ball pitcher like Segura, if he beats it into the ground and it's a high hopper, the slowest guy out there is Hill, but it's tough to make
play at third.
Play at third, exactly. Yeah, up and in to Pauli. So you got advantage with Brandon Horn and Tyler Pauli running on, and any kind of those high hoppers, of which we've seen many. Inside again to Pauli. Boy, he wasn't happy about that.
No.
2-0. Good count. Jorge's fired up a little bit too.
Yeah, which is good.
And 3-0.
Now here's where I give him a green light.
2-1. Sorry, 2-1. That was called a strike.
Oh. Okay.
And that goes off with Paul. Boy, we've seen a lot here the last couple of days, on Sundays.
The trainer and the massage therapist from Bear Creek's going to be busy after the game.
And that come up and into a difficult spot. 2-2 now. Tyler Pauli. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 aboard. Laced and caught by Manuel Godoy. Right man, right place. It probably was a good idea that he was 7 feet behind the bag because it gave him just that extra quarter of a second of reaction time. Watch this. Right into the glove. John Miller Field here at Circle Tap Bar and Grill. There's a look inside Circle Tap. Right outside those windows is John Miller Field. That's where we are. And that's where Justin Schofield is, out on the pitching board. He's become the relief specialist.
Yeah, he's done a great job coming off the bench. It takes a skill to come off the bench like that.
It's not something that you see a lot of in fastball, a reliever. Most guys just tend to go 7 innings. Cleary certainly more than capable of it. But when you combine these two together, it's a pretty formidable matchup for anybody.
Yes, they're great teammates together. They work hard together, and they complement each other.
And a pinch hitter for the Dukes, Ryan Sinclair, steps in. And he looks at strike 1. Ryan on for Laskowski, who's got a pair of strikeouts.
All the coaches are pulling all whatever things they have.
Well, all the stops are coming out, and no wonder. Staying in the winner's bracket is something you want to do. With Schofield in, Riley Mannion gets up to throw. And you talk about a 3-person staff, as good as anybody, I think, in the tournament, these 3. I will say, though, they're all very similar. Hard-throwing righties with good change-ups. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but hard-throwing righties. Coming up, the New York Gremlins versus the Toronto Batmen. That'll be our next game, about 15-20 minutes from the conclusion of this one, whenever that may be. Sinclair took that first strike, but 3 balls since. Joe, an Ontario tournament matchup, Elmira Expos in Oswego Redmond, underway up at Denmark. Chopper in the infield, past a diving Jeff Lyons, had it go underneath his body. And Tyler Pauli couldn't track it down, and I don't think there was going to be anybody to throw it to, even if he did. You see Lyons kind of falls over it. So Ryan Sinclair aboard with a base hit, and the tying run aboard.
Number 43,
Alejo Munoz. And again, Joe, got to think he'll be bunting.
I would think so. Did have a single back in the first inning to drive in the second circle tap run.
Squares and
struck out in the third.
Takes a strike.
Pitching line for Sean Cleary, 5 innings, 2 runs, 6 hits, 8 strikeouts, 1 hit batsman.
Gets down to one knee and got a bat on it, but such is the spin from Schofield that it just spun right off the bat. Foul. Yeah. Joe Bill Hillhouse notes that about 2006, Segura and some other guys from Guatemala came up to Erie, Pennsylvania, where Billy was located at the time, and spent some time working on their mechanics. Well, Billy, it paid off. Jorge Segura, one of the top guys around. Swing and a miss by Munoz. He's down on strikes. Schofield blows it on by him.
Big strikeout. Huge.
Center fielder, number 2, Tyler Johnson.
Great movement on the rise ball, too, from Schofield, where, you know, Joe, and he's worked a lot on that pitch, because when he came up, he was drop and change. The rise was not really a factor in his arsenal.
Yeah, he's worked hard at that pitch. in the off season.
Well, one of the hardest workers in the game, Justin Schofield. I know last fall, as this one is fouled back to the screen. Tyler Johnson at the plate. Patrick Stewart would drive an hour to catch Justin Schofield in about 5 degrees Celsius weather as he was getting ready for the November journey down to Auckland, New Zealand for the World Cup. Scof still throwing outdoors.
Well, that's what you have to do to prepare yourself. Willing to do that, too.
This one gets by Boland, and up to second base goes Ryan Sinclair. They tried to come inside on Johnson, who had to do contortions to get out of the way. He was trying to bunt. So Sinclair, native of Australia, but lives up here full-time for the last several years and just got married in the not-so-distant past.
Key situations here. First time that Circle Top Dukes has had a runner in scoring position since the second inning.
Well, that's how effectively Sean Cleary had barred the door. And he did very much seem, Joe, like he was getting stronger as that game was going on. Johnson has a healthy cut at that pitch. There's Riley Mannion warming up down in the bullpen. Travis Jones on guard duty.
Tyler Johnson struck out in the first inning and in the third inning, both swinging.
A little bit more life from the Circle Tap bench than we've heard over the last couple of innings as they've got this tying run in scoring position. Boland tried to frame that up. And this one is way up the elevator shaft. Tyler Pauli calls for that over by second base. Schofield, as every good pitcher should, goes to cover a base and get out of the way of the infielders to catch it.
Second baseman, number 34.
That's a big out for the Express to collect that without the opportunity for the runner to advance. You know, fly ball to right field. He likely tags and goes. Sinclair runs very well.
Matt Harrell looking for his second hit of the game. Had one back in the fourth inning.
Would love anything out on the grass right now with Matt Harrell and the Dukes, but over the top of that good drop ball from Schofield.
Well, I'd come back with a feast of those.
Yeah, there's no point leaving any ball up,
yep,
letting him drive anything. Let him beat it into the ground, let your defense work for you. The worst that happens is he gets a ground ball and beats out an infield single. Swing and a miss. They do go upstairs. He did them a favor by chasing out of the zone. Long look in from Schofield. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Gets Matt Harrell looking. Bear Creek Express work out of that little mini jam. We'll go to the top of the 7th. The Express clinging to this 3-2 lead.
Catcher, inch by inch, we'll fight to make the lives of First Nations people in this community, this province, and on this continent better. I know we have a long way to go, but I'm proud to say as long as our people have a need, Dreamcatcher will be there for them.
Quentin Bruce will lead things off for the Bear Creek Express, top of the 7th inning, looking to add to this 3-2 lead. Bruce, the 4-batter for Bear Creek. He, Colin Walsh, Ryan Boland were key in getting the Express out in front. Tyler Pauli was in the mix of that as well, but Bruce come around to score the tying run. It was Walsh with the go-ahead. Boland picking up an RBI single along the way. Walsh with the double. There's a called strike. Can't get the bat off the shoulder. Oh, and a late call, too, and I think maybe Luiger Pinto sold Tom Keller on that one. They didn't ask. Pinto bounced out to throw the ball, and Keller, I think, almost reacted to that, Joe.
Again, with 2 strikes, you got to protect that plate.
Yeah, Bruce just seemed reluctant to swing that at bat, which is not his game. Inside and off speed to Walsh. Manuel Godoy doing a lot of umpiring from down at first base.
Everybody's an umpire. Good mix there by Segura.
Well, 2-0 to Colin Walsh, a good hitter's count. And misses downstairs again. So now 3-0.
Got to work his way back here.
I think I'm putting the stop sign on if I'm Paul I and Doug Charlton and John Stewart. That pitch would have been tough to handle. It was down and in, and you're not going to do anything with that pitch. You almost need Jorge Segura to make a mistake in the middle. Exactly. We're on the same page here. That one is off the plate, ball 4. That's a good at bat by Colin Walsh. Didn't chase anything from Jorge Segura, and that's where Jorge gets a lot of guys, is chasing that drop ball. You can see the setup was outside. It was to the glove, off the plate. Ryan Boland
Second inning of work for Segura. Also had 2 walks and a hit batsman in those 2 innings.
Well, what did he have? 3 walks and a hit batter in the no-hitter earlier today.
Yep.
Boland swings over the top of the drop. He's going with the off speed a lot more than he did earlier this afternoon.
Yeah, I don't think he's got a lot of faith right now in his drop ball. Looking for something else to come in and assist.
That fouled off and then hit Ryan's bat on the wraparound backswing. We got a replay of that one? Watch the ball off the end of the bat here on the wraparound. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Is that 2 strikes?
It's a good thing he was in the box. That misses downstairs. So 3-2. 1 down, so you wouldn't expect Walsh to be going. But you want to stay out of a double play nonetheless. Boland, or Segura, actually stepped off. Foul tip into the glove. Pinto squeezes that.
Huge.
Big out for the Circle Tap Dukes.
Number 44, Jeff Lyons.
Jeff Lyons now to the plate. Jeff came on for Kyle Ezekiel in the 5th strikeout victim. Stayed in defensively. And that's inside.
If you're wondering who's coming up for the Circle Tap Dukes in the bottom of the 7th, go to the number 9 batter, Dante Matakatir. Then we're at the top of the order to Matt Palazzo and Luigi Pinto.
Well, it's not a bad threesome for the Dukes. Top of the order has been Murderer's Row. That one is through the 3.5 hole. Lyons aboard with a base hit. And how many times have we seen Jeff Lyons hit a ball through there, Joe?
Yes. Pure pull hitter.
Jason Hill to the plate, and Jason Hill has made a habit of picking up late inning RBIs in world tournaments the last couple of years.
2 for 2 so far. Single in the 2nd inning, single in the 4th, hit by pitch in the 6th.
Both hits to the left side. And he got clipped by Jorge, if you'll recall.
First batter he faced.
Yeah. So Scott Standifer is going to make his way out. Walsh and Lyons are over to meet with Jeff Pauli on the third base side. You see them just at the left edge of your screen. I don't think this is exactly what Scott Standifer had in mind when he brought on Jorge Segura based on this earlier this afternoon's outing. He was looking for a little bit more of what he saw then. Segura struggling to find the strike zone at times here. So we'll get everybody back to their respective bases and benches. And we'll have a 1-0 count to Jason Hill. Little chopper on the infield. Segura will pick up the bounce and toss to first. Jason Hill will lay a beating on the safety bag with his bat, but Jorge Segura strands a pair. We'll go to last call at Circle Tap for the Dukes.
Does your game need work? Want to get better every game? Every at-bat? You need Lumberjack Sports. Focusing on exceptional quality and providing players with reliable, long-lasting product, Lumberjack Sports brings you in-game equipment and off-field workout gear, designed and tested by top fastball player Nick Shales. Learn from the best. Play like the best. Check out lumberjacksports.ca to put your game over the top.
To the bottom of the 7th we go. Dante Mudakatier needs to set the table, Joe Todd, for the boppers at the top of the shop.
That first out is so big, huge in the bottom of the 7th inning.
You know, Matt Ratliff is going to be coming out of his shoes. Pinto has cooled off to being only molten hot. Justin Schofield has to keep the door firmly closed here. Can't give away free bases. You don't want Palazzo coming up with the opportunity to walk off the game.
No.
If he ties it, he ties it, but you can't let him walk it off. In for a called strike, 1-1.
This is a huge plate appearance in the game.
Well, this is also a big at-bat here for Dante Mudakatier. I mean, here's a young guy who came over back in 2016, got a taste of it, has played on the New Zealand scene for a while and chases upstairs. Good rise ball from Schofield. But he's matured into a real good young ball player, Joe, and this is a big opportunity for him to put himself in the limelight.
Yes. Chance for him to shine right here. This is a big challenge for both pitcher and batter.
Good eye by Mudakatier. Time called as Jeff Lyons? Who called time?
I'm not sure.
I know the umpire obviously called time, but somebody called time out there somewhere. Jeff Lyons looked like he was walking in. Had a notion to go, did he? Yes. Says Brandon Bloom. Not sure on that. I'd love to see the replay. Let's take a look here.
I called he did.
I don't know. Nonetheless, neither of us have the final say. It's the men in blue on the field. So Matt Palazzo will come to the plate with the bases empty, which if you're an Express fan was the scenario you wanted. If you were the Dukes, you'll take a tie if Palazzo gets into one. Look for any rise ball to be way up and out of the zone. You don't want to hang anything here.
No. Make sure on your pitches.
In tight to Palazzo. Called strike right in the outside corner.
Good gauging pitch there for Palazzo. Riley Manning still warming up in the Bear Creek Express bullpen.
They go to that outside corner again, and they get the call. You saw Boland. You saw where the signal was. He set up inside and then bounced out at the last minute. You don't want to give away location too quickly.
Well, not to an experienced hitter like Palazzo.
And this one lifted up to right. Doesn't have the legs. Hauled in out there by Colin Walsh. Hit the bottom of it, Joe, not the back of it.
Yeah, didn't get all of it.
Yeah.
Catcher, number 3, Louis Pinto.
Uyghur Pinto to the dish. We know he can go yard at any time.
With his 4 home runs so far.
Is it 3 or 4?
3, I guess. 3.
Looked like he wanted to launch 4 right there. Was coiled with that swing. Just off the corner. Schofield is bringing heat, too.
Well, these are the type of battles you look forward to in a tournament like this.
Called strike to the inside corner.
Both benches are fired up here.
Boland fighting the urge to go out for a full mound visit, I'm sure. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Directing the defense as much as anything else. Game on the line.
Keep it low.
Chases outside. They go up and away. Luigi Pinto can't hold back. And Joe Todd, an exceptional ball game here in the winner's bracket as Bear Creek Express prevail 3-2. A come-from-behind win. They will advance and will play the winner of the New York Gremlins and the Toronto Batmen on that side of the bracket. We're going to bring you that one coming up in about 15 minutes' time. But, Joe, just an excellent ball game.
Real good ball game. One of the better ones we've seen today. Great match pitching shows by both teams. Sean Cleary and Justin Schofield winning the battle between Devin McCullough and Jorge Segura.
Stay with us for the nightcap. The Gremlins, the Batman, coming up on the ISC Network. Blair Setford, Joe Todd, Luciano Lafrano, Carol Tereste. And thanks to Greg Tim for getting us all excited about Surrey, BC in 2024.
For the latest in softball innovation, the website where you can experience the best tournaments in the Americas. Live games, news, tournaments, and much, much more. The best quality live softball, on demand so you can watch when you want. Become a Premier member now. SoftballPremierTV.com. Live it on Softball Premier.